Apparently, Yoshi-P said this. There is a Famitsu interview going on. My editor, I think, posted this for me. I'm not going to translate all of this. I don't care about how they make their game, right? But the most important takeaway, at least Final Fantasy XIV related, is this. There's a new Famitsu interview out with Yoshi-P and blah, 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 mobile game designer, blah, 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 blah. It's a pretty long interview, including a look back at Yoshi-P's career, the recent, but here's a translation of a couple of the stood part for Final Fantasy XIV mainly, right? Regrets over making Final Fantasy XIV less stressful. Reflecting on the fan festival. From now on, we will keep working to surprise players and go beyond what they imagine. But that reminds me of something I regret. As we continue to operate Final Fantasy XIV, we have made the game more comfortable. A game you can play without stress. But looking back on the last 10 years, I'm thinking we have overdone that. A video game should of course some element of stress, but how to handle that properly is extremely difficult. I can agree. For example, a side-scrolling game. If there's not any holes that you can drop down, if you miss a jump, of course the game will lose its stress, but that will also lose its fun. I would love to restore that part a little bit. If we do that, we can give everyone a better challenge, a good way more than ever. You know why? All these QoL are way too much. Now, I would love to say luckily. I wanted to say luckily at least the most recent dungeon or expert dungeon, at least you cannot jump straight into duty support. But now every single MSQ they introduce it, which I thought is really bad. What would be a best time to make a new player feel more like they are in the MMO world? When you buy an expansion, and then you have to do the duty with other players. You talk about it, you explain, you try to go through it. Oh, you are a brand new player, no problem. I got this, I will tell you what to do. But no, now new players have the option to say filter that out. I don't want to play with another player. I only want to play with NPC. NPC will never talk me. NPC will never complain about me. I will forever be who I am, play with the MMORPG. Like, that is so bad, right? I think. Even trials. They are starting to introduce NPCs to even trials. I do think that that's starting to go a little bit too far. That's taking away bare minimum stress that I think any game needs. It's bad for the game. It's a good addition, but it's bad for the game. If you're a brand new player now and nobody is doing all the other content because no one is playing the game, and number two, not new players, not a lot of new players want to go through this shit. I mean, even veteran players don't want to go through this shit. And obviously, I think that is needed. But if you only play MMORPG with all those duty support, then I think you're playing the game wrong. But then I'm not going to take away from you that Final Fantasy XIV story is meant for anyone to enjoy, even single player games. Again, that is Final Fantasy XIV's fault. They put so much focus on the story, which is, again, not bad. Even if you say that what the odds are actually in the expansion, I don't think, I mean, we have been playing Final Fantasy XIV for 10 years. Obviously, none of these things means anything. I know. Because at the end of the day, can Yoshi-P alone make any changes? I don't think so. At the end of the day, Final Fantasy XIV is a business. I don't think he himself can say, do this and it can be done. He can come out to say all these things. At the end of the day, can they do it? No. But at least this brings me some comfort that at least Yoshi-P is still Yoshi-P. Because I've been playing Final Fantasy XIV since 1.0. In fact, the first day I started playing Final Fantasy XIV is because he became the producer of the game. When Tanaka got fired and Yoshi-P took over, that was the first day I played Final Fantasy XIV. And when I saw him took over and make changes to the game on 1.0, how it was, until what the game become today, a lot of things changed. But I still believe that he can actually make what a MMORPG should feel like. And you know, sometimes when he say things like that, and then when he say things like that, it makes me feel like, okay, at least these guys still have that little bit of that in him. Now, sadly, that doesn't translate into especially Endwalker. Endwalker is really bad. Like, everything he says right here is talking about Endwalker. 24-man, expert dungeon, relic quest. Now, I'm not talking about endgame, by the way. A lot of people always think that I'm an endgame elitist. I'm not even touching on endgame. EX trial. All these things are what he meant here. The game will lose its stress. Literally, every content in this game has lost its stress. Here's the good thing though. There's silver lining. The good thing is, at least luckily, Savage and Ultimate are still there. It's still okay. I don't think Savage and Ultimate is overboard. I actually think Savage is perfect. Like, if, you know, like brand new player like my wife can come in months later, patch later, echo later, clear the fight. They still enjoy it, right? She's doing damage. She doesn't fully know how the game works, but they can still have a bite at the cherry. You know what I mean? Aside from Savage, anything below Savage just lost its touch already. There's literally zero stress. It's like what Yoshi-P says. This is how game design should be. When you walk, oh there's something that I have to press a jump. Nice, I did it. Oh now I reach this small little gap. What can I do? I can choose to jump, or I can just do it like Mario. If I speed enough, I can still run through. Oh, now I reach here. Am I gonna make it? Or do I need to find a way to feel? Maybe I need to build a bridge. Maybe I need to build a stairs. Or maybe I need to use a grapple hook. You see what I mean? Like, video games needs to be like this. There needs to be multiple ways that makes you need to think, make the right decision. have that stress for you to overcome the game, overcome a particular obstacle at any point. That's how games should be. Final Fantasy XIV Endwalker has become like this. This is Endwalker. This is Endwalker. Doesn't matter what the f you do, you will never fall. Doesn't matter what the f you do, you never fall. And then bam, here we got Ultimate. Like, hello? Why does Endwalker not have anything in between? Why do poor player have to get to Savage or even Ultimate before they realize that, oh, time to scale this gap? So that's what Yoshi-P means. Yoshi-P feels that MMORPG and especially Final Fantasy XIV needs to have a little bit. There needs to be some challenge here. There needs to be some obstacle here. There needs to be, you know, a big step here. Because right now, Final Fantasy XIV has none. Like, Yoshi-P means games should be done this way, right? Challenge number 1, challenge number 2, challenge number 3. Final Fantasy XIV right now, Endwalker has 0, none, nada. Oh, by the way, Criterion Dungeon is kind of stressful. But you know what? People don't need to do that. Because there's no reward. If there's no progression, it's optional. If it's optional, then technically speaking, it's not there. EX were good. EX is not good anymore. 0 must. Oh. Endwalker has a lot of good challenges, but buried. They were not made mandatory. They just, guys, there's always an alternative. And the alternative is always you don't have to deal with it. Stress-free. Play as you like. It's bad for the game. It's bad for the game. It's really bad for the game. That's why I'm really glad that he came out to address this. Now, again, like somebody said in chat, does this mean that he will do anything about it? I don't think so. Does this mean that he's going to do anything in the immediate future in 7.0? We start seeing anything? No. Ew, guys, the game be 10 years. We all know the pattern. We all know that sometimes it's all talks. Do I expect any change? I don't. 8.0 maybe. 7.0 I definitely don't see it. But I'm glad that he at least realized that. If he doubled down in this interview and then he's like, oh, Final Fantasy XIV is in the best shape ever. I do think that right now I make the game the best way I perceive it to be. This is the vision. This is my dream. This is what I wanted Final Fantasy XIV to be. And I'm glad that we are sitting here celebrating 10 years and moving in the next 7.0 thinking that everything will be as good as Endwalker. Dude, I would have quit the game. I would have lost my shit. I'm glad that at least he knew. Again, why did he feel this? Statistics. The reason why the player retention is not good now? Statistics. The reason why clear rates are higher, people are not re-attempting content? Statistics. Why are people on social media, content creators putting out video more than before that has more negative about the game than positive? Statistics. Do you think we cook shit up with no ingredients? Why do you think people complain about Hudibras? Why do people complain about no field operation? Why do people complain about 0 mers being too easy? Why do people complain about 24-man being too easy? Why do people complain about... Again, you notice we don't touch about endgame. We are even talking about the casual content. Why do people talk about rally quests not feel like rally quests anymore? Statistics. It's all statistics. So I'm glad that he realized that. Keyword, they overdone. And again, right, duty support is one of them. I think duty support shouldn't be expanded so much at current content. I think that duty support for old content, I think is fine. But duty support for current expansion content, I think that's too much. Why are you driving your players to have to play single player? Have to play by yourself this early, you know? Even as a casual player, dude, casual player, come on, man. What else are you gonna do in this game as a casual player? Does it really stings you to have to play and do a dungeon with other 3 players? I feel like that's where they cross the line, right? This game is more RPG than MMO now, yeah, and that's a bad thing. I think that right now they flip it too much over to the point that Final Fantasy is more RPG now than MMO. That's a bad thing. They definitely cross the line. There should be a right balance of catering to casual and how MMO should be played, and then how casual players should go through the transition on how to deal and play and how you should be playing an MMORPG. The moment they start to isolate the casual players where they need not interact with any other players, that's where they cross the line. Yeah, it doesn't have to come from difficulty. Yeah, it doesn't have to come from difficulty. Exactly, like I said, right? Is this difficult? No, this is just a little gentle tap on the jump button. This is just a Mario speed through a small gap. It's either you speed through or you just press a tap. Is it difficult? No. You just press one extra button. No, you just hold one more button while you run. It's not difficult. In MMORPG, this would mean playing with player B, pressing more than 1 to 2. Right now, you go into a dungeon and you do it with your NPC. Dude, honestly, just don't die. I'm pretty certain, right? If I go into a dungeon right now and I do duty action, I legit can stand still and I think I can clear the dungeon. As long as I don't die to mechanics. As long as I don't take 10 AoEs at once. Even if I eat 1 AoE, I'm pretty sure the NPC will cure me up. I'm pretty sure they will still kill it. They can take 1 hour, sure. But I'm pretty sure I can. At the end of the day, I can't tell you who Yoshi-P really is as a person. But I can at least tell you as a gamer, Yoshi-P has got ideas up his sleeve that he can make Final Fantasy XIV. And I'm not exaggerating, okay? Yoshi-P has the power to make Final Fantasy XIV 10 times better than it is. A lot of you guys probably would think that, what the f do you mean Final Fantasy XIV is as good as it is? What if I tell you Yoshi-P can make this game 10 times better? Yoshi-P has that vision. Yoshi-P have that idea. Yoshi-P is a gamer that he knows what can make that happen. But the thing is, does this game really needs to transit that? This game is not bad. As bad as Endwalker is in the state it is right now, it's pretty bad. But is it really bad? A lot of people would say that Shadowland Endwalker is probably the lowest point of WoW and 14. But actually, if you think about it, is it really bad? If you look at the game as it is right now, in fact, Endwalker, you look at Endwalker, there's so many things that can improve. Now, the question is, do they want to? We all sit here and we sometimes criticize. Justifiable, honestly. I think we have the rights to criticize because we expect better, because we know you can do better. Post 6.0 is rough. If you are not an end gamer, I really don't know what the f you guys are doing as a mid-core player. Okay, maybe not mid-core. I think a lot of mid-core players are moving into Savage. And then a lot of those Savage players are moving into Ultimate. Casual. As a casual player, what the f are you guys doing? I really don't know.